Welcome back to the channel. Is India becoming the world's next superpower, or is it simply a nation experiencing rapid yet localized economic growth? This segment sets the stage by defining the difference between economic milestone and global dominance. What if I told you that the country once called a developing nation is now becoming one of the most powerful economic engines on earth? A nation that was dependent on imports today builds rocket, export digital technology manufacturers, smartphones, and is shaping global trade routes, right? From poverty and shortages in the 1960s to becoming one of the fastest growing major economies in the world. India's rise is no longer a prediction, it is happening right now. And the biggest question is, can India become the next global super economic power, capable of challenging the dominance of countries like China and even the United States? Today we will systematically understand, but before that, dear listeners, hit the like button and turn on the notification. Subscribe this channel just to meet a challenge of 1000 subscribers. Be the first one of them, and also tell me in the comment where are you listening from. So let us begin now. How India transformed its economy? Which sectors are driving this rise? Why the entire world is investing in India, and what challenges could still stop this journey? Let us know that for decades after independence, India struggled economically. The economy was heavily controlled by the government. Industry needed licenses for almost everything. Growth remained slow. Economists even called it the Hindu rate of growth, where India's GDP growth remained around 3 to 4% per year. In 1991, India faced a massive economic crisis. Foreign reserves were so slow that the country had only money for few weeks of import. And then came the turning point. India launched major economic reform. Markets were open, foreign investment was allowed, private companies got freedom, and globalization entered India. This changed everything. India slowly transformed from a closed economy into a global economic player. Today, India is among the world's largest economy, one of the fastest growing major nations, and a key strategic market for global businesses. Let us look at the numbers. India's economy has grown from around $270 billion in 1991 to several trillion dollars today. India is now one of the top global economies by GDP. And according to many international projections, India could become the world's third largest economy within the next decade. Why is this happening? Because India has three major strengths. One, huge population advantage. India has the world's largest population, but unlike many Asian countries, India has a young workforce. More than half of India's population is under 30 years old. This means more workers, more consumers, more innovation, and massive long-term economic energy. Digital revolution. Number two, digital revolution. India created one of the world's biggest ecosystem. UPI digital payment transformed transactions across the country. Today, even small street vendors accept digital payment instantly. India's digital infrastructure is now being studied globally. 3. Rising middle class. Millions of Indians are entering the middle class. This creates enormous demand for cars, smartphones, housing, education, tourism, and consumer products. Global companies see India not just as a manufacturing hub, but as one of the world's biggest future markets. For years, China dominated global manufacturing, but now many companies are looking for alternatives, and India is emerging as a major option. Why? Because global supply chains are changing after the COVID pandemic, US China tension, and geopolitical uncertainties. Many corporations realize depending on one country is risky. This opened a massive opportunity for India, right? Companies like Apple, Samsung, and many global electronics manufacturers have expanded production in India. India is also investing heavily in semiconductor manufacturing, defense production, electric vehicles, renewable energy, and industrial corridor. The government launched initiatives like Make in India, Production Linked Incentive Scheme, and infrastructure mega project. India is building highways, ports, airports, and logistic network at a historic scale. Infrastructure is becoming the backbone of economic expansion. India's real strength is not just factory, it is technology and talent. India became a global IT powerhouse through companies like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and many startups. Indian engineers and software professionals now work across the world. But the next phase is even bigger. India is rapidly expanding in artificial intelligence, space technology, fintech, biotechnology, and digital services. India also has one of the world's largest startup ecosystem. Thousands of startups are solving problems in finance, healthcare, education, agriculture, and e-commerce. India's space achievement also changed global perception. The successful moon mission demonstrated that India can achieve advanced technological goals. The successful moon mission demonstrated that India can achieve advanced technological goals at comparatively lower cost. This strengthened India's image as an innovation-driven economy, right? Innovation-driven economy. Today, every major power wants stronger ties with India. Why? Why? Because India sits at the center of global geopolitics and economics. India has a strong relationship with the United States, Europe, Middle Eastern nations, Russia, and emerging economies. India is also becoming a voice of global South, right? Organizations and platforms like BRICS, G20, Quad, and international trade partnership have increased India's global influence. Many countries now see India as a stable democracy, a trusted market, a long-term strategic partner. Global investors are pouring billions into India because they believe India's growth story has only begun. They know, but the journey is not easy. India still faces major challenges. Employment, millions of jobs need to be created every year for the young population, right? Economic growth must reach villages and smaller towns. Equally, infrastructure gaps. Although improving rapidly, some regions still need better transport, healthcare, and education system. Manufacturing competition. India still competes with countries like China, Vietnam, and others for global manufacturing leadership.